Good evening to my general viewing audience. It's your man Shane Black coming to you tonight to have a serious discussion regarding the death of Leon Armstrong. I almost said murder. It was definitely a homicide. Murder, no. And I'll explain why, but to give you something to think about. It relates to how a black man feels. And then, actually, what the fuck? Let's just jump right in. You see, Melvin Harris was out with his daughter and two of her friends. And she's 16 years old, and like a good, responsible dad. You know, if y'all going out, that's cool and shit, but I'm gonna come pick you up. Now make sure y'all get back safe. Ain't shit happened to you. So we picked them up from wherever, lit up before midnight, went to the QT on the DL in AZ, Phoenix, Arizona. Because when you gotta go, she had to go. Was gonna get her a drink too. Now, I mean, shit, you just use a bathroom, why the fuck you need a soda, but, you know, whatever. That's how kids do it. And when she went in the bathroom, I'd say this happened, but there ain't no video of the damn attack. So let's just watch some news footage real quick. Have a look.
A father is charged with murder after police say that he beat a man to death who was reportedly trying to go into the bathroom stall that his daughter was in. Melvin Harris is accused of killing Leon Armstrong earlier this month at a Quick Trip convenience store in Phoenix. Carter Evans spoke to both families, including the suspect's daughter. Carter, good morning.
Good morning. Earlier this month, Melvin Harris and his teenage daughter visited this convenience store so she could use the restroom. It was just before midnight, and it was just supposed to be a brief stop, but it ended in a deadly fight right here outside the parking lot.
What do you think your dad was doing that night?
Protecting me.
Melvin Harris's 16-year-old daughter says she regrets telling her father what happened inside this Phoenix Quick Trip convenience store on August 2nd. Her mother asked that we not disclose the teen's name.
Now someone's dead, and now everyone's coming at me like I did something to him.
According to court records, inside the store, a man entered the women's restroom and tried to get into her closed and locked stall door. Shortly after the teen told her dad what happened, Harris alerted a security guard to, quote, take care of the situation or he would do it himself. Security told him they would handle the situation.
Security was like, oh yeah, we don't play that. That's the third time he did that. We're going to F him up if you don't do it.
Harris later allegedly approached the man outside the QT where he punched him in the face, causing the victim to fall, then struck the victim in the face several more times and also kicked and stomped on him. 26-year-old Leon Armstrong died.
I don't think anybody can be prepared to hear that type of news, that someone just was so cruel.
Armstrong's aunt, Kathalina Johnson, says he suffered from schizophrenia.
Though he did have some mental illness, he was never a person that was considered a pedophile of any sort.
Harris is now facing a charge for second-degree murder. Diana Jackson is his fiancée.
A guy died here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really serious.
It's sad because nobody should have died. She was supposed to be able to go in there, use the restroom, and get her a fountain drink and go home.
Now, a spokesperson for Quick Trip says that this is a horrible tragedy and they're going to continue to assist police. We reached out to the security company that operates here. We've not heard back. Harris points out that he did not throw the first punch. That's his claim. But police say, in this case, that doesn't matter. John?
Carter, thank you.
That's what happened. Well, let's see, because I think they missed part of it. So let me just hydrate, because I got a story to tell. Now, Leon Armstrong initially approached Melvin Harris when Melvin was sitting in the car waiting on the girls. He's like, yo, man, you know, can I get some money and shit? Not paraphrasing here. And he was like, you know, here's $1, man, get the fuck away from the car and shit. Cool, you know. And now that he had some money, he went in the store. And then he decided, well, oh, there's a bathroom over there, and it says women. That's where I'm going to go. Since all this, you confuse shit, the gender identity and all that bullshit. Maybe he didn't know if he was a man or a woman that night, but he damn sure wasn't a woman's restroom. He was banging on that stall trying to get in. Then he left. The daughter, who you should have seen in that video clip, came out and did what she's supposed to do. Dad, that motherfucker right there tried to get in the stall and I'm PPing and I just motherfucker. And Melvin Harris said, let me notify the authorities, if you will. The authorities in this case at the location because there was a security guard. Yo, dude, motherfucker tried to get my daughter in the bathroom. Man, you know, because he done tried that shit like about 3 other times this week. Or 3 other times or something, you know. What was that the daughter said something about, oh, well, because if you don't do nothing, we going to F them up. Security, you should have F'd them up after the first time. Definitely after the second time. So that there would not have been a third time. If you knew this man, why the fuck did you still allow him in the store? If you knew him well enough that you knew he had done it. Or that this was the third time he did that. And then you want to tell Melvin Harris that shit's being handled. But you not moving and you not doing nothing to stop Leon Armstrong from walking down the street. It's at that point, I don't know exactly, because nobody ever did that shit with my girls. But I know how Melvin Harris felt in trying to do, or in doing the right thing and getting no response. I'd love to see what race the security guard was. I'm thinking white, but I don't know. You see, a lot of us black men, or black people in general, we'll just say, but I can only speak as a black man, will notify the correct authorities when shit goes wrong. And we get a response like the response Melvin Harris got that night. Oh, we'll look into it. We'll work on it. We're not going to do anything about that shit right now. And they just kind of hope the problem goes away. And we're left feeling angry and frustrated that when we did the right thing, nothing happened. Now, yes, Melvin Harris could have called the police as well. Could have walked down the street and called with the telephone, walking down the street saying he's going down this street, that street. But you don't know who has a gun nowadays. You start walking down the street following him, he might shoot you. So, let me just get up close. I've said it in other videos that were taken off my main channel. You get up close so that if the other individual has a gun and attempts to pull it, then you can grab it and maneuver it away from your body. If you're not within arm's length, your ass can and likely will get shot. Apparently there's an exchange of words. Then there was physical violence. Why? Because the security guard didn't do shit. And after, even if the security guard did not want to get involved right that second, the security guard should have called the police as well, since it happened at their location. And my research did not reveal that the security guard did anything other than tell Mr. Harris he was handling. See, it's that frustration and anger that builds up from telling y'all that someone is fucking with us and you don't do shit. And when it comes to your girls, you're like, fuck that. You are not going to get away with it. So yes, he allegedly punched him in the face and he fell on the ground. Then he allegedly I'm sitting there to get on the ground, I punch him in the face a few more times. And then he allegedly stomped his ass. And then he allegedly kicked his ass until he was unconscious. Then Leon Armstrong got a free trip to the hospital. Well, I don't know if it was free, but he damn sure can't pay for it because he's dead now. swelling on the brain, and that's some sort of nasal fracture, and then that shit escalated to him being dead. Oh, and Melvin Harris, because he did, after he whooped his ass, he got in the car and left, and then they caught up and arrested his ass later on. First it was like aggravated assault, then they upgraded it to murder. And it should not be murder. Hold on. Oh wait, Arizona, y'all. It's another reason black people are frustrated and angry. Michael Dredger. Y'all remember him? That's the last fucking video. He killed Marquise McLaughlin. That was that stand your ground law. What I say, 3 wrongs don't make a right, and then 3 rights and 1 wrong was the update. Check the video out. He killed Dredger, shot and killed Marquise McLaughlin. It was heat of the moment. McLaughlin was actually stepping back, and he was shot. Yet, the prosecutor only wants to charge him with manslaughter. Key piece there being heat of the moment. Give me one moment, y'all. Just teleprompter this real quick. Here. And actually, it just says that Harris was charged with the murder. It doesn't say 1st or 2nd degree, but it shouldn't be murder at all. In that moment, he was emotionally charged. I wasn't even there, and I know he was emotionally charged. Somebody fucked with my daughter, and then I tell you about it so that you can get the authorities, detain him. You're the fucking security guard, secure this shit. And you tell me I'm handling it while you're sitting around sipping a soda. And so I have to handle it. Now, the fiance was wrong in that he was not protecting his daughter at that point in time. His daughter was already out of the situation. So please, ma'am, stop that shit. Y'all need to stop saying it was protecting somebody when at the time the alleged crime occurred, that individual was no longer in danger. So he wasn't protecting his daughter. He was pissed the fuck off. He's mad that Leon Armstrong did that shit in the first place. He's even madder that the security guard ain't gonna do shit about it. And he likely got even angrier with whatever the fuck Leon Armstrong had to say to him. So he whooped Leon Armstrong's ass to make sure that shit wouldn't happen again. And actually he made hellified sure it won't because of him. But that was heat of the moment. Murder is cold and calculated. I guarantee you, he did not set out to murder that man. He set out to whoop his fucking ass. But he's black. Michael Dredger's white. Black man gets murdered. White man gets manslaughter. Both people acting in the heat of the moment. Except a quick semi-update. You see, Michael Dredger had pulled his gun on 2 other people, and well, it's a total of 3 people he threatened, and 2 he flashed that piece to. One was like about 3 months ago. And he called the man had a company truck, and then he calls the man's employer and said he's lucky that he didn't blow his employee's head off. And in 2012, 2 separate road rage circumstances where the victims, the alleged victims, said Michael Dredger flashed a gun at them from his car. The police caught up with Dredger both times, and each time he had a gun in the car. Yet he was not arrested. And these facts were insufficient. I won't say they're insufficient. The prosecutor just discards that shit and leaves it at manslaughter. Michael Dredger had been looking to get his gun off and killed a black man. And that's manslaughter. Melvin Harris was looking for justice, which he couldn't find from the security guard. He could get from the QT. and took the law into his own hands. And yes, that's wrong. But negligent homicide.
Knife, but with somebody's hands, you know what I'm saying?
A reportedly ruthless beating that left a Fontana man dead in Arizona. The suspect has since been charged with second-degree murder, but now it's the victim's family compelled to defend his character.
He probably was really just trying to get into a stall, to a restroom.
The incident happened at this Quick Trip gas station. Authorities say Melvin Harris's 16-year-old daughter was in the bathroom, that she told her dad, Leon Armstrong, tried to get in her stall. Armstrong's aunt says he was off medication for schizophrenia and may have just been disoriented.
We knew automatically that he was definitely not going in there to do anything to those young ladies.
Court documents show Harris's daughter notified an employee and that Harris told a security guard to take care of it or he would do it himself. Witnesses told police that Harris then punched, kicked, and stomped Armstrong until he was unconscious and then left.
You cannot tell someone they're wrong for protecting their children.
Harris's fiance is now defending him as well, saying he feared what would have happened to his daughter had Armstrong gotten into that bathroom stall.
I don't feel bad at all for his actions. I feel bad that the man ended up dying in the process. I do.
Armstrong's family says Harris very easily could have waited for the police department to arrive and handle the situation on their own. Reporting live tonight in Fontana, Nicole Combs.
Manslaughter in the third degree, a lesser crime, except that he's black, and therefore they charge that shit to the max. And you wonder why black people are mad. Shit, I'm mad just talking about it. And I'm getting madder still after I drink this. Why? Because of this. There you go. Now look. I know that people want to talk about family, this, the ties that bind, blood thicker than water. Jamal Armstrong. Just take your hand, just do this, Jamal. Just take your hand and go like this. For you see, it is better not to speak and let people think you a fool than to open your mouth and prove them right. And that goes for that aunt too. Hold on. There we go. All right, so it doesn't have the aunt's name. There we go. So Tramal, Tramal, and then the aunt, Kathalina Johnson. If, as she said, how the fuck would she know he was off his meds? But if your relative is schizophrenic and he is killed, you're partly, let's see, schizophrenic and you love them so much that you're talking all this bullshit right now. Excuse me, because I don't edit this. I don't edit it, I just come off the cuff. So let me gather my thoughts again. Hold on. The aunt states, oh, well, he was off his meds, or maybe she said he was likely off his meds. Either way, even if you suspected that, they're taking him to the fucking hospital. They can check his system to see if that medication is in his system in the proper percentages. You know, if you take it daily, you should have X percent triamexazone in your system, you know, 40% peroxide and whatever the fuck else. If you loved him so much, why did you not do something so that this situation, if you're correct, if as you allege he was confused, so that he would not have been confused and that shit wouldn't have happened? If your relative is a danger to society and you don't want your relative killed, whether by the police or the public as they're defending themselves, then you do something that puts your relative in check. Which is why I say the both of y'all, Catalina and Tremal, should shut the fuck up. No one gives a damn about how fucking sick your brother and your cousin was, because he ain't sick no more. Kind of hard to be a dead schizophrenic. That shit might have cured him. But don't cry now, because you should have done something before he decided to fuck with someone who wasn't doing shit to him. So, yes. I think, fuck. I actually hate to say, but Melvin Harris should be charged with a crime. Melvin Harris should get a minimal amount of time in jail. He wasn't protecting his daughter. He was just a mad dad. And how many times folks want to talk about a fatherless America? Yeah, I still don't see no movie. But there was a father right there, doing what a daddy does. Doing what a daddy does. You fucked with my daughter, I'm whooping your motherfucking ass, and the police can have you later. And I say it's too bad that Leon Armstrong is dead, but his family didn't give a damn, enough of a damn about him to keep his ass in line. So they've got one less worry, but they wasn't worried about him to begin.